All right, there we go. All right, guys, welcome to the Leadership Call After Party. So as you guys know, we're doing the full FIBC to NYC class, Florida National FNC. I'm always going to mess it up. We're not going to New York. Don't no one book your plane tickets for New York. That would be a wrong place to go for national convention. But we're getting closer. They covered a lot of stuff tonight. We just want to get you some facts tonight and just circle everyone up on a few different things. But mostly to congrats a lot of you guys. I've been chatting with a lot of you guys recently, and we are actually on track for our largest month we've ever had again, by a big shot. Right now, we're tracking for like well over our percentage of last month, which is all well and great if you like numbers like that. But more importantly, it means that we're reaching people and we're expanding. And what we're doing right now is what we talked about at Go Global, which is reaching more people, becoming easier, becoming more able to jump in and grow coaches and reach more people, which is really exciting. So just again, we're just going to be doing this every other week just to kind of gather up mindset. We want to transfer skill set, grow and help others, become duplicable, have fun, and become growing leaders. So just a reminder of this call is I know many of you guys are fully integrated business coaches and above, but I want you guys to visually remember what it is we want to be seeing in our group right now. I mean, you have your own personal goals and how you want to make up your own schedule and what Take Shape for Life does for your life, but remembering that this is our vehicle of what we're doing here. Many of you guys may be even running higher frontline volume than this, but basically, running a strong, solid, fully integrated health coach volume with 5 or more senior coach legs that are growing. The goal is not to be just, 1,200 senior coach and above. We want to help people making strides in their business, being enveloped in our community, becoming fully integrated and impacting those around us, which are just enjoying the fun, which there's no better time to be that right now because we're going to national convention in 51 days. So Greg, Rex, and Terry and Susan, all great job on the leadership call tonight. They covered a lot of this, especially Greg Rex, but it's July 9th from the 12th. And we've had all the details out right now. So that's one thing I wanted to get you guys today. But literally, as we all collect the leaders up tonight and you're looking at your business like a CEO and you know how many lives you're changing, which quick side note, I was talking with someone today and we were talking because they want to they have a coach that's coming on that's a lawyer, and they were a little bit intimidated because they're like, oh, successful, a lawyer, attorney. And I was like, because they kind of talked about they actually want to leave their job because they don't enjoy that. Figure that out, that what we're doing sounds way more fun than doing lawyer stuff. No offense if anyone's a lawyer on the line. But I asked her what she made an hour for what she's doing and the people she's helping. And we basically figured that it was way more than what the attorney was making per hour. So it's just kind of that CEO look of our business. So with that being said, we're looking at convention right now, 51 days away. And we're putting our CEO caps on. So are you registered, and who's coming with you? My favorite quote of all times is, Ashley asked me this, and it's great because I look at this line right now and I see the people on the call right now, and it's like, who do we want at National Convention with us? Because we want the most fun, awesome people with us. And what do you guys picture? Who do you picture sitting at your table with you? So who's coming with you? And to really just make it really simple right now, because setting up for convention shouldn't take a lot of time. It's these 3 things, which is your flight booked? Which right now there's really good deals. I basically looked on for cost of flying right now, and basically pretty much all flights are about $200 each way right now to Florida, which is actually a pretty good deal because most of us are coming from the West Coast. So if you book right now, that's what we're looking at. And actually it shows that the fares might get a little bit better. So have you booked your flights? Are you looking at doing that? And for those that you are actually looking at and inviting, knowing that flights are actually a pretty decent deal right now. And then do you have a room booked? There are a few more rooms left in National Convention. Many of you guys are probably already rooming up with someone. Or if you're planning on bringing a lot of people with you, do you have a room that's already planning on putting some people in with you? And 3, is it paid for? Because we're doing an awesome thing called Each One Reach One right now. And pretty much all of our registrations and our rooms should be paid for by what we're naturally doing on this call. So that brings us to number 3, registration. Is that paid for it as well? So looking at your team, who and the people that you want to come. Bobby, we had a great talk about someone that you wanted to bring with you to National Convention because you were one of those people that Ashley was like, you know what, most awesome client in the world. We'd love to see you at National Convention, and you came, and your eyes were open. So all the way to someone who may not even be a coach yet to who's on your team that's coming. Have you invited them? Is their flight booked, and do you know how to share the flight with them? Do you have a room book that you can put it in for? Can they get that paid for if they're already a coach? Because I'm going to go over the incentives here in a second. And then registration, is that already taken care of? So this is the schedule. And I know many of you guys were kind of waiting on booking flights because you wanted to know the exact schedule. And they went over on the call tonight just a little bit, but just as a quick review. Thursday, if you're coming in, if you're below global director, which, is a good chunk of the crowd here. Many of you aspiring to be global directors and planning for next year, coming in even earlier. You guys, the first kickoff is Thursday night. So you can literally leave Thursday morning, even from the East Coast, and be there in plenty of time to kick off for general events. So keep that in mind for you and your tickets, or for those that you are inviting. Thursday is totally easy. So they've done a great job this year in making National Convention really easy to get to and high leverage. So anyone that's coming in, we know we have a lot of intro coaches coming in. They can just literally leave Thursday morning and be there in plenty of time to kick off the event. And as many of you guys, I think it was Greg Rex on the call tonight, said, a lot of people see that opening event and they know that that's what they want. I mean, they knew that they wanted to be a part of TSFL. So then Friday, we have all general sessions all throughout the day, as well as networking night Friday evening, and then Saturday general sessions and our ceremony in the evening. So these are just the kind of layouts right now. So just checking on that. So just as kind of a review, flying in Thursday morning. I know many of you guys, because you guys like to have fun and combine your vacations, you guys are coming in early. That's totally good. Come in on Wednesday, get totally settled in, and be ready to go Thursday night. But you can return home Sunday at any time. That's totally good to go. We usually do a church service on a Sunday morning. So if you want to stay for that, that's something to watch out for. But otherwise, there's no standard events on Sunday morning. So, and then most flights are about $200 each. I'm a visual person, so I wanted to show you guys this, because when I saw this, I was seriously blown away by how many people can earn a free registration. So over here on the top left, we have the way you earn points. So you get 100 points for every each one you earn. So anyone who starts a coach, any one of you guys on the line, anyone on your team that starts a coach within a calendar month, and they get their first client and have a personal B-Slim order of 150, will earn each one reach one. So that's 100 points. Anyone on your team or your coach's team, so go senior coach, that is 300 points. If someone on your team goes executive director, 500 points. Someone goes regional, 600 points, and global director, 1,000 points. And I just want to congratulate everyone who's already earned free registrations and free night stays, and all the people that are close. So like Brian and Allison and Lori, Sheridan and Shauna and Leanne, you guys have already earned free registration and some of you free nights. And many of you guys are right there, probably already earned it, because this list is actually from last month old. So that's just a really good thing to remember. I mean, it's so quick and easy. I've been talking to a lot of people like, oh, I didn't even realize it was that easy to win a registration. So if you're already executive director, those are the ways that you can earn points to get there. And literally 1,000 points gets you a free registration. 1,500 points gets you and a co-applicant, and 2,000 points gets you a free registration, co-applicant, and a complimentary night. So if you were to bring on a few coaches in between this month and next month, let's just say it's 2, and they got their each one reach one, and they both reached senior coach, that would already be 800 points just from there alone. And I know this incentives has been going on since February. So many of you guys are already racked up on points. And actually a few of you guys, to be aware, I've been looking at some of your stats, and this is only a couple people. You guys are literally an each one reach one away from unlocking your points, because you have to have an each one reach one to unlock all of these senior coach, ED, and regional director points. I know some of you, as soon as you get an each one reach one, which, I mean, actually a few people that I'm talking about already got one, you're automatically up to 1,500 points for your each one reach one, which is pretty cool. So then for your team, I want you guys to be looking at this. This is really cool. Anyone on your team that advances to the rank of associate director, or has in the past few months since February, and they get each one reach one, they're going to national convention for free. So it's like, how many people are we bringing to national convention for free? It's just something to be aware of and look at for yourselves and for your team. So I know they've been talking about it for a while, but in case you guys want to see the numbers, that's the breakdown. And if you are at all not 100% clear on this, feel free to reach out so you guys can see that. And it's like, who's coming with me? But here's the other reason we wanted to bring up the call this month. And actually, Dawn, I'm going to have you surprise come on and talk here tonight. So just be prepared. We are almost 2/3 of the way of the through the month right now. It's the 18th. So right now it's a really good time, since we're all putting on our CEO hats, is, do we know where we're at? We don't spend a lot of time in the office in motion, but are we checking it, at least here and there to see what we're projecting for? So as they're sitting here on the 18th, do you guys know where you're projecting for your frontline volume? And do you also know what your team is projecting for? So you're helping them move forward along with your support team. So it's just a really good gut check question to ask. It's 2/3 of the way from the month. Are you guessing or hoping you're going to end up somewhere, or do you already have it calculated? Or are you like a lot of people on this line that are like, oh, I'm already blowing it out of the water. I'm actually already ahead of my goal. That's a really good place to be, by the way, 2/3 of the way through the month. So I'm going to go over some of the things that are really good to go over. And Dawn, I didn't give you any heads up, but you're sitting here on 2/3 of the way through the month. What kind of a thing? I mean, you're a seasoned coach. You've helped a lot of people. What are some things that you're looking at and considering for yourself as you're always moving your business forward and helping more people with your CEO hat on? What are some things you'd like to just share with the group tonight?
Sure, Brad. Thank you. So, well, first of all, I set up my month as in always on like halfway through and then 2/3 through, I'm looking. I like to look at that genealogy and just kind of see where people are. I love to celebrate people and then also help them see how close they are to where they could be or that they're already reaching goals. So just keeping track of where I am personally for our own personal goals. And 2/3 through the month, I mean, are we at least halfway to our goals, if not already meeting our first goal and going to like our second, like big thinker goal? Because I always like to have one of those out there too, right? Like I've got my goal and then I've got my and if I'm going to blow it out of the water, this is my next goal. But yeah, just taking a peek, and we have a ton of people who have actually already qualified for an Each One Reach One this month, and just maintaining or even growing and hitting their goals are going to be getting a free convention ticket or a room night, and each One Reach One counts. And so just kind of keeping track of the team and looking to see how the new coaches are coming along, and sending out some 3-way Facebook messages, reminding them about how awesome they're doing and what their plan is this week. And as we're finishing up the month, doing lots of 3-way calls and things like that. To answer your question, Brad?
It does answer, because I think what you've seen is the same thing I've seen, is that there's a flow to this and what we're doing and how we're helping people and how we move our business forward. Because this is a whole call about how do we help more people and identify and put our CEO hats and build towards a fully integrated business coach. And we talked about what it is we're building. So it might be kind of a gut check for you, is like looking at this. Am I making progress filling in my dream team slots there and helping people move forward? What have I done this month to move that forward? And basically, Dawn, what you're saying is it's 2/3 of the way through the month. You've set a plan, you've aimed, you've taken action. And where am I at? Sitting 2/3 of the way through the month. So I'm not sitting here trying to check around the 28th. What do I know I'm already doing? Who am I reaching out to partner with and to celebrate because they're already doing the do and they've already are exceeding their plans? Or who am I keeping an eye on that, their actions there, but they may be seeing a little bit, lower numbers, and we're just double checking that they are on track for it. Because it's a team effort. No one gets left behind on our team. And that's what we're full of support. And that's why we do these calls, because we're all a team and we're better together. So that's basically what you were kind of picking up and putting down there, right?
Yeah. And one of the things too that I have seen, and Brad, you taught me this, and I love that you lead so much by example, but this time of the month, as we're kind of like heading into the back half, the back third of it or whatever, people can take a look at what their Office in Motion shows, or maybe how many clients they've started so far this month and helped bring into the community, and they can kind of give up on their goals, but we know what's possible in just a short amount of time. And so it doesn't matter if someone has just hit senior coach or maybe manager. You know what? Associate director, and ED is not out of the question this month. I mean, we still have tons of time left. So you roll up your sleeves and get to action. Anything is possible. I've seen people do amazing things in just the last 10 days of the month. And so, don't give up on what your goals are. If you have a goal, reach out to your mentor, your support team, and let them know, because you can still reach it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Don, for sharing. And what's great about it too is sometimes we're looking at everybody, and sometimes we see people moving, and it's like we're starting to we get like gawky eyes. It's like, oh, that's so cool what they're doing, and we forget that we're like, oh, just a little gain here and a little gain here. Like pretty much, I write down every Monday. I write down my week and my schedule, and I write down some like high leverage activities that I've got to get done no matter what. Like one person I got to talk to about coaching, two people that I got to make sure I follow up because they're interested in program. Those things, because if we just those little grabs and those shares can be the difference between a huge month and a small month. And you ripple that out over a year, it's huge. And sometimes we think, oh, it's just a small little thing here and a small little thing there, but it's small little touches that add up. It's a relationship business. And when we do those little touches, that's the difference between excelling and just doing pretty awesome over a little bit of time. So this is a good kind of a gut check thing to look at there. So that's what, we do with our CEO hats on. So here's a quick pulse check for you guys to all ask yourself. And you guys, probably many of you guys are like looking at this list, you're like, boom, 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 got it. Because you guys are inspecting what you expect. So where am I currently at? So where is my frontline volume right now? And how many B-Slims do I have set the process? How is my team doing? And basically not just like numbers wise, but where can I jump in and help? Where are they at on their goals? Like they have aim and they have stay, strategies, tactics, and action. Where am I jumping in to help them take that next step, or grabbing my support team? Because none of us live in a vacuum. It's like, can we grab our support team and run and then grab someone on our team and help them move forward, whether they're a brand new coach or someone that can be, accomplishing the next rank this month, or even get that associate director mark hit so they can qualify and get really close to earning that convention so we can be talking to them about convention. How many clients have I started personally? Always looking at ourselves. What have I done? Because again, like I like to share this because I'm the king of it. I can think about how many people I want to talk to all day long, but really week by week, what am I doing to move that forward, and how many have I moved forward? How many coaches have I started, or how many potentials have I done three-way phone calls with? Have I invited them to explore health coaching with my health coach, or just encourage referrals? And then a referral came up and I asked them, are you coaching them or me? How many people did I actually do this week? And I always like Dan Bell's talk on this, because he's always saying like, all right, you know what 100% of zero is? It's still zero. So if you get 100% of the people you talk to and you talk to zero, it's still zero. So just checking that and seeing, who have I connected with? Who have I inspected, and do I have that list? Susan LaBelle hit on that 20-person list. And for all big thinkers, we should have a list of 20 people that are on our mind for coaching at all time. All the way from, I haven't even talked to them, but I would love to see them be a health coach, to they're probably signing up next week because we've talked about it diligently, and I'm on layer number like 45 with them. So that's just a good thing to consider there. How am I doing working towards my next goal? We talked about this last couple weeks ago. What is my next goal for my business, and what do I want to achieve? I'm making strides toward that. And the last one I always like to ask, am I bulletproof in my offering? When you think about what it is you're offering, do you guys remember what it is that we're offering? That we're offering people the trilogy, not just weight loss, but a phenomenal health program that also has the aspects that enrich other people's lives and pay it forward and join our community. So, are you stacking bricks, or are you building a cathedral? For those that have been around for a long time, you understand the reference. For those, it's basically how you view things. Two people are asked, they're doing the same thing. One says they're stacking bricks. One says they're building a cathedral. And it's just so good to have that view set on what it is we're doing. Then basically, how is your list looking? And, I'm going to actually give Dan Rawmakers a big props, because I went to your house like right after we did this, and you had this printed out and you had a full list and people already contact. And that's why you have new coaches that have already come on this month. And we're talking with another person tomorrow morning. What you inspect, you want to inspect what you expect. And, that's why I put that last one on there about being bulletproof and remembering what it is we're offering, because the best strategy in the world is all off if we don't remember who we're helping and why it is we're doing this, and how far we've come in our health. So just kind of another mindset on that. And I think that's pretty much it. So that's just why we wanted to do that tonight, and just be like, hey, let's take a look at our business. Let's put CEO hats on, and let's say, where are we moving ourselves for? What can we do to dive in? And lastly here, if I'm having trouble making a step forward, or I haven't really been doing anything, or I need to know where to jump in next, that may be a few of you on the call, grab your support team and say, boom, I need to make these next steps here. I really want to move forward. I want to help more people. help me make some high leverage steps, because no one's doing this alone. But the last thing that I wanted to put on here is, we want to, as we're doing this, we just want to hit on some high leverage topics, because one of the books I grabbed and have been kind of diving into recently was a book that Terry Miller recommended to a large group that she was working with a while back. And that's called How Successful People Think. And I'm rereading it and I'm loving it. And I'm always inspired by people that think big, that do big, thoughts that you never even thought you could think. That kind of sounds like a Dr. Seuss reference, but that's okay. But are you treating your business like a business? Like I mentioned, the person I was doing a call with this morning, and just like, wow, am I thinking about it like this little thing? Or am I thinking about it with what I have in my hands and treating it that way? Just because I may have a job that I go to 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, and I'm still working towards it, I'm developing my thriving Take Shape for Life practice, realizing that, wow, like I actually make more money per hour and I'm impacting more lives, and the potential for investment is way higher with this. Am I treating it like that? So the other thing that I want to put on here was healthy finances. Probably one of the biggest things I really enjoyed, when I first sat in our first global meeting, I was blown away by not only the integrity of our company, but the fact that Dan Bell lectured the first, one of the first hours was 30 minutes on, are you guys taking care of healthy finances? Because one thing we don't do is say, hey, buy flashy things, act like you have tons of money, buy a fancy car because it's all about the flash. No, he said, do not overextend yourself. Do not feel like because you're being more successful that you have to act like you have money. I mean, yes, we make great money, but you don't have to act like you've got that you have $100 bills coming out your rear end. So basically this is a whole new way of thinking, because in most people, and gosh, it's just been so much fun. And this is why I want to hit on it. So many people are growing a stronger business, making more income, adding more income to their life than they've ever had the possibility or have had before. And what are you doing? Are you being diligent with that income that you have coming in? Like, are you treating your entire life like a business? And a joke that Ashley and I have is, because Ashley's always been really good with finances. She had a friend that she worked with before we found Take Shape for Life. And she was like, someone asked her, like, that friend, oh, hey, do you have a budget? She goes, a budget? Like, for what? I'm not running a business. And because she was always like broke every single paycheck. It was always to the end of it. So same thing with this. We have more money coming in right now. Are you guys looking at this? What am I putting away? Am I inspecting what I expect with my finances? And what am I, how much is actually coming? I've asked a lot of people recently that are moving towards full executive director recently, or getting close, and they didn't even realize how much they were making. They were just like, oh, I just noticed extra money was coming in. So my question for you guys all here is, what do you guys know how much you're making? What do you know where that money's going? And do you know what's going to take that to that next level? Because this income is a gift, and those dollars that are coming in are being paid because people are getting healthy, and you guys are taking your business very seriously. So do you know what your next level is that'll take your income, so you know your business path? But also, do you know what's coming in, and do you have a plan on it? I've been very thrilled to see many of you guys have opened up separate banking accounts for your business, to have your funds and your direct deposits shuffle into that, so you can see how much money is coming into your business and allocate savings. We have very little overhead as health coaches. And the only thing that we really have is 2 events a year at this level that you go to. So are you putting away for that? Like, when we come up against an event that's coming up, we don't just wait till the last minute. We buy our tickets 2 months in advance. We register almost a year in advance, and we buy our hotel like 3 months in advance. So it's not just one big allocation, because we were planning for that expense. Besides a little bit of cash on account, Saturday training here and there. And, we get lots of tax write-offs, but there's really not much expenses that go into health coaching. So just, are you guys looking at that? That's just kind of the one thing that I would encourage you guys to do. And if this is news to you, or if it's new, or you guys are like, what's a budget? Then reach out to your support team and, say that this is one of the next goals you want to accomplish, because there's multiple. We can have our own health goals. We can have business goals. We can have how many people we want to help goals, but we want to make sure, just like anything in our business, that we're inspecting every aspect of it, like a CEO. So I think that's my mini little topic tonight. So if that hits some of you guys kind of like right between the eyes, please reach out to either Ashley or I or your support team to say, hey, I want to get this a little bit more dialed in. This is the next step of my trilogy, is dialing in my healthy finances. If you're already on top of it, which I know many of you are, congrats. And you know what? Don't keep it to yourself. That's the whole thing about this, is being duplicatable. Teach someone on your team that. So as we finish up, we have trilogy calls next week. And I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who shared, and Susan LaBelle for putting on the call last week. Seriously, so powerful. And a lot of people who leveraged that and got people on it were blown away by just saying, wow, I want to be a part of that. We just also came off another amazing training in the Portland area. And just, man, we raised the hands, and 50, I'd have to say, Dawn, I can see on my screen right now, probably a solid 40% of the people in the room were new or guests. Wasn't that refreshing to see? That was cool. We maxed out the room, so we had a great location, but I don't think we can use it again. So we're growing right now, and it's really about sharing the story. So we went back to talking about inspecting what we expect. Next week on Monday, we're going to have the opportunity to share more stories. One, looking at all you cool people, and I got like Antonio on my screen right now, like, who wants to share their story on the call, because it's the stories that are powerful, and who are you inviting onto that call? So as we finish up, guys, I just want to congratulate all of you guys, one, for taking the time. Personal growth and leadership is not something that most people say, hey, I'm reserving time for that. Reading books, growing ourselves personally. And that's what I'm really excited about, is you guys are all so eager to jump on this call and get fed at that level. So a leader is someone who demonstrates what's possible, because, that's this quote right here, but it's because you lead yourself. No one has to lead you. You lead yourself, and you're always asking for more and looking for more. So that's pretty much it. That was my last slide. So with that being said, guys, that's what we have a week from now. Let's see how many people we can have there this next week. Inspect what you expect. Finish up this month strong. And again, I've never really had this be a motto. It's just something that we've talked to people about. And, I know, Dawn, I'm looking at you again on my screen. This is something that we take to heart. Let's finish up our months a solid day before the month. Let's be cheersing, congratulating, looking back at our smiley faces and all the people we're getting healthy on the last day of the month, knowing that we crushed our goals, and everything else on top of it's a bonus, because that's how big we think. It's just like the 4-minute mile. Everyone doesn't think it's possible until you push yourself a little bit further and a little bit further. So thank you guys for being on the call tonight, for thinking bigger. We're all better together. Again, lastly, so finish up this month thinking about where you're going to finish up at. Then ask yourself, am I set for national convention, and who am I bringing with me? If you need help, again, do not go it alone. No one likes a lone ranger. Ask your support team if you need a little help getting some things figured out. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you. I had a great weekend with many of you guys. Let's go out and finish this month strong. Oh my gosh, there's even more people on the call again. All right, perfect. All right, guys, let's go be on purpose and fill in that vehicle. We want 5 legs of people, world changing across the country. So keep up the great work, everybody, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Brad.
Oh my gosh, and hold on. The last thing is, I'm seeing so many people that haven't even been to a national convention right down the line. That's cool. Can't wait for you guys to be at your first national convention. It's going to be so awesome. So, all right, with that being said, have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Thanks, Brad.